Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the DVO Show, and I'm here with my friend Brogan Bonner.
Hi guys.
Now Brogan, we met through Kimball, who was on one of my episodes recently, and he told me some great things about you, and just kind of researching you, and I was stalking you on social media, and you were probably stalking me back, and that's okay. But cause you're like, wait, who's this guy calling me up? But anyway, Brogan's a beautiful person inside and out, and she's got a new business she started, BB Mind.Body.Soul. Health and fitness coach.
Well, too.
Yeah, well, too. Why not? Why not? So, health and fitness coach. And, how long have you been doing kind of getting into fitness and helping people with that?
So I have been into health and fitness for about a year now. I just recently, this is a brand new thing, started my BB Mind.Body.Soul, as well as becoming a health and fitness coach. I just think health and fitness and wellness in general is so important. Because of where I come from, I've been extremely unhealthy in the past, and we'll get into that. But taking care of your body by means of what you're consuming and what you're doing exercise-wise, I think is just so important. And people don't understand, I think, the connection too between physical exercise and mental health. And
True.
I think that it's not talked about enough. So
Good point.
that's why my brand is Mind, Body, Soul. I'm trying to incorporate all of them and not just the fitness aspect. So.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying when it comes to like fitness and health, there's a big mind part to it, big mind aspect.
Yes.
In what way? Like just mentally preparation or?
Yeah, well, the preparation part, but also when you're taking care of your body and you're eating the right things, you have less mental fog, you're less depressed, and these are all things that are scientifically proven. So I feel it too, but
Right.
it's coming from a scientific background. So it's proven that when you're eating the right things, your mental health is much better. And I can attest to that because I struggle with depression. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And what you're kind of saying there, it makes sense to me because I know if I catch the gym early in the morning, the rest of the day I'm a road warrior, so I'm out on the road all day long. And when I start off my day working out, I don't want to stop at McDonald's or I'm about like I want to make sure I pack something. I start off when I get home, eat something good. Yeah. It's kind of funny, right? It's just it does kind of coincide. So tell me, and I know you want to get into this. How did you get into fitness? Like, what was that outlet for you?
So, I struggle with alcoholism as well as depression and anxiety.
Interesting. Like your whole life, or?
Well, it's something that I believe has been there my entire life.
Okay.
Because I believe it does run in my family.
Interesting.
But it didn't become a problem until I was about, 2021. So for the past 7 years, I'm 29 now. I've been in recovery for about a year now. So I've been sober for about 11 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But before that, for about 7 years, I struggled on and off with addiction by means of alcoholism. And I know what it's like to not take care of your body to the fullest extent. Like, it was very severe. I was in the hospital a bunch of times. I was in and out of treatment centers. Yeah, my health was bad. And if I had kept going, I would have died. I would not probably make it to 30. So.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've seen it firsthand in my family as well. So I've seen what it can do long term.
Alcoholism in your family?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's that whole depression side of it, and no one really knows yet. It's kind of like chicken and the egg thing.
Okay.
Whether or not the depression caused the alcoholism causes the depression. But ultimately, I think it's just a big cycle. Each perpetuates the other. And so I've struggled with both for a long, long time. And once I got healthy, and it took some pretty severe and traumatizing events to get to this point, but I'm grateful for them today. And once I got to this point of feeling good enough to get up in the morning and, not have to have a drink or,
yes.
Not be shaking, not feel like absolute crap, I realized, okay, how much better would I feel if I was actually eating things that were good for me, if I was treating my body well and exercising. And it took a while to get there because my body was still incredibly weak for a long time, and the mental fog was still there for a long time. But I slowly started exercising and I started eating right. I started looking into nutrition and what vitamins I needed to take to get my, levels back to normal and my organs healthy again. And it just kind of evolved, and I continually felt better, and I feel like it's not openly talked about enough, so people that are struggling tend to feel like they need to hide it, and I just kind of want to get my story out there so that I can help other people who may be struggling with the same thing, and at the very least just share my fitness journey.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know there's people out there listening that struggle with any type of addiction, whether it's alcoholism or anything like that. Now, did you start drinking at 21 then, or was it earlier, college,
No.
middle school?
It was, I had my first drink when I was 14, and it did not go well. So I kind of knew, and I think everyone knew, this could be a problem. And I would binge drink on the weekends. I still did really well in high school. I was the kind of person that on the outside I acted like everything was okay and great, and I was still making great grades. I had friends. I got into the colleges that I wanted to. But I was also struggling with an eating disorder in high school. So it kind of, there was always something really wrong, and it just manifested in different ways throughout the years. Because I never dealt with it. I never talked about it. So the more I internalized, the more it came out in different ways. So whether it was an eating disorder or drinking too much, or so depressed I couldn't function.
Yeah.
It was whatever it was at the time.
So Brogan, this is a young age. Did you kind of know that this was unhealthy, not good?
I knew it was unhealthy.
Okay.
But I wasn't willing to. At the time, I didn't know the importance of talking about it and getting it out of my body. I didn't realize that by internalizing everything, I thought that meant it would just go away. It didn't exist, But I was young, and I think I was angry. My parents were going through a divorce at the time, and they both have, their own issues, which I won't get into. But so I was just, my way of, I guess, rebelling was by internalizing everything and still acting as if everything was great on the outside.
I see.
But yeah, so I knew something was wrong, but I wasn't willing to, acknowledge it, I guess is the right way to say that.
And this happened for many years?
Many, many years, yeah. I struggled with the eating disorder. I think it was at its worst when I was 17 and 18, so my junior and senior year of high school. And then drinking kind of replaced that. So so instead of really getting help for one, I just kind of replaced it with drinking so that I could numb out and not feel. And as soon as I got that first taste of, alcohol and not having to care or feel anything really, I just fell in love with it. And
the numbing aspect, is that what you fell in love? Okay,
yeah.
Interesting.
And it wasn't, I didn't have a super traumatic childhood. Nothing crazy had happened at that point. I just fell in love with not caring and not feeling. Because I've always been the type of person that if I'm in a room full of people and someone's upset, I take on those feelings. I'm very much an empath. So I think that was too exhausting for me. Like I had reached my limit of that. So
when you say you're an empath, like you actually feel it, or you get empathetic to them?
Well, it's a little bit different. So an empath is someone who will take on the emotions of someone, especially those you're close to. So if someone is angry or upset and they're in the same room and it's pretty visible, I'm going to start taking on, I may not get, visibly angry or, whatnot, but I'll take on their emotions and I kind of feel them as my own. And it's just, it's exhausting. So
yeah, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I'm like that with one person.
Yeah.
That's my mom.
Yeah.
If I see my mom crying, automatic waterworks. I'm like, what's going on? I don't even know. I just see and that's mom. But I couldn't imagine that all the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've always been that way ever since I was little. So it's exhausting, and I think on top of everything I was already feeling, just finding that way to completely numb out was just, I was like, wow, I can do this. I can not feel, but it turned into something much bigger and snowballed. And
was there a point in life or an age range where you feel like, hindsight now, it was maybe the worst?
Yes, I would say it got really bad my final year of college. I still graduated, which I don't really know how that happened, but I did. And right after that, I missed my graduation ceremony because I was in my first treatment.
Oh, wow, okay.
And it had gotten really out of control at that point. I was having to drink literally every minute of the day in order to function. And after my first or second treatment center, and I used to be really embarrassed that I went to multiple treatment centers, but I think it takes what it takes for some people. And
is that from relapses? Is that why?
Yes.
Okay.
And it just didn't stick with me, I guess. I wasn't ready is what it comes down to.
Oh, good point. Okay.
But I wasn't ready. And so it continually got, exponentially worse every time I would relapse and go back out. And there was one point where I had been living in Florida by myself in an apartment for about a month, and Christmas had come and gone, and I was so sick all the time that I couldn't keep alcohol down, but I knew that if I didn't keep it down, that I would have a seizure or something worse, and no one was there, so no one would find me, and I was just terrified at that point. I knew for me at that point it was life or death, so I reached out to a treatment center in Florida, and I went there, and thankfully I went there when I did, because as soon as I got there I did have a seizure and I was sent to the hospital. And scary enough, that's not what got me sober. So it's crazy the lengths we go to before we realize.
No, was your seizure from withdrawals or just from? Okay, got it.
Alcohol withdrawal and benzo withdrawals are the most dangerous. Because they can kill you.
Wow. Yeah. So you're seizing, you're probably sweating profusely, I'm assuming, too?
Yes. It was everything bad you can imagine.
Wow. Pretty scary for you?
It was terrifying. I think I was in such a fog, though, that I didn't... Looking back, I'm like, wow, like, holy crap. I cannot believe, what I did to my body, what I put myself through. Right. And the fact that I'm still alive is a little bit crazy, too. And, that I never got in trouble with the law is just... That's
really?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know whether to be proud of that or not. But yeah, I never got in trouble, but I had to drink to function. So everything I did, I was drinking, and it was bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what was it that took you in that day anyway?
That took me into the
treatment center. Like, did it make you seek out the treatment center?
It was the fact that I thought that I was going to die and that no one was going to find me.
You're going to just be alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was when I was 23, I want to say. Okay. 23, 24. So yeah, it still took a couple of years after that to...
Interesting. So for you, like when the relapse would happen, what was kind of... Were you like saying, okay, I don't want to do this? Or were you like, I'm just in the mood, I'm just going to do it?
Well, it's funny how, especially in an alcoholic and addict's mind, we are great manipulators. So, and that means even on ourselves. So it's kind of like the
For
demon
sure.
and the angel thing. And I cannot tell you how many times I would sit there thinking, I can do this just once. Like, I can drink just one more time and I'll be fine. Like, it's not going to turn into what it did last time, you know. And I would just convince myself of that. No matter what was laid out in front of me, like, Brogan, look what happened last time. Look at everything you've lost. You almost died. You had a seizure, and you're sitting there saying you can drink like a normal person.
It's funny how you can try to validate that in your head, right?
It's crazy to me. Looking back, it gives me goosebumps.
Wow.
So it, you know, sometimes it was something would happen. Sometimes it was, wow, you know, it's raining today. I think I should have a drink.
Wow, interesting.
You know, it's.
Did you wake up, like, that's the first thing you thought of when you woke up too?
Yes, it was. For a long time, I had to have, you know, I didn't care about having food in the house. I didn't care about anything. I just needed to have vodka in the house.
Got it.
I would wake up and drink, and like I said, it got so bad to the point where I couldn't even keep it down. And I think that's what scared me. I mean, I had been like really depressed and scared before, but that was when I was like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna die here alone.
Wow. So you're in Florida. Did you finish that treatment?
I did.
Okay.
Every treatment center I have finished.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I've been to a lot of treatment centers, and I'm not proud of that, but it is part of my story, so I'm not gonna.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it myself. I think it shows that you consistently were trying to get better.
I never
Things
gave
happen,
up.
but you didn't. Yeah. Oh, perfect. You didn't give up.
I think that the only failure in addiction is when you give up, and that's, for addicts and alcoholics, that's death. So as long as you're trying, you know, and you get back into it and you talk about it. I mean, for me, like, it's a waste of time to go in somewhere and just think of it as a vacation and not really dive into what's uncomfortable. And there's always a reason why, you know. We're not just, you know, drinking and using drugs is not the problem. There's something underlying that. That's the problem. There's a reason why we're drinking and why we're using and why we're numbing out. And it takes a lot, I think, to figure out what that why is. And it takes a lot of courage. But
Good point.
But that's the only way. I mean, in my opinion, it took a lot for me to get to that point, and thankfully I'm still alive. But a lot of people aren't so lucky. So
after Florida, then what happened? After the treatment center, obviously you relapsed.
Yes, I went to a few different treatment centers after that, and then I was really bad off. Like, we'll fast forward to what brought me to Utah. I was in Rhode Island randomly.
You've been all over.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool if I were there for like a good reason, but
all right.
I was really, really struggling with alcohol at that point. I was probably at the lowest point, you know, mentally and physically that I had been in a long time. And the friend that I was there with was using heroin, and my drunk and depressed mind was like, yeah, sure, like, why not try that? So just a small amount. I literally just sniffed a baby amount, and it caused an overdose.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it was fentanyl, and I didn't know that.
Okay.
And this is just some of the dangers and stupidity and what comes along with this lifestyle.
Good point.
But yeah, I made a really bad decision, and I overdosed, and I had to be Narcan twice.
Okay.
That's what they use to bring people back to life, essentially, when they overdose on heroin. And at that point, I was like, wow. Because that's something I promised myself I would never touch. I swore up and down, you know,
Right.
I will never touch pills and I will never touch heroin. Like, that was just my absolute no.
But when your mind's inebriated.
Exactly. And I was so depressed. I really didn't care. I wasn't actively trying to kill myself per se, but I didn't care what happened to me.
But you didn't care if you died, you felt like, okay.
Right. And to the point where I was willing to try something that I knew was incredibly dangerous.
It's a scary point.
Yeah. And so that's ultimately what brought me to Utah. And my insurance was so bad. I mean, it took a while to find a place that would even take me, with my insurance being the way it is. And that's, I won't even get into how much that upsets me. There are so many people out there that need treatment and can't get it because it's so expensive, and you have to have great health insurance to pay for it. But so we found a place out here, and I went to that, but even that didn't get me sober. So
interesting.
Yeah. So it's just like I said. I mean, it's crazy, and finally, what did it for me was I had a friend at the time. He ended up committing suicide. Oh. He was under the influence of a lot of drugs, and he struggled with bipolar disorder.
Okay.
And I was the one that found him. So it was just
interesting.
It was very eye-opening, and I think a lot of my friends, and I was about 30 days sober at the time. So my friends and family thought that I was just going to, you know, lose it.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like, and that's what I would have thought I would have done, you know. But it had the opposite effect on me. I, at that point, realized how precious life is.
Okay.
I mean, of course, after I got over the shock of it, and it's quite traumatizing seeing something like that. But
I can't imagine.
But I addressed it head on. You know, I didn't act like it didn't happen. And I just realized, you know, life is so short as it is, and I've wasted the last 7 to 9 years of my life. It's literally a fog. You know?
I was going to ask that. A lot of it probably seems like a blur.
Yeah. So, and I'm 29 now. I want, you know, I used to have so many goals and aspirations and dreams as a kid. I used to have fun. Yeah. I used to, you know, I was sitting there thinking all these things. And I just realized that I wanted to give myself a real chance at life.
Good for you.
For me, that means no alcohol. That means like I'm never going to be able to drink like a normal person, and I finally accepted that. And
good.
And I want to share my story, and I want to help other people. And I mean, if I can go through something like that and stay sober, I mean, I feel like anybody can do it, because it took me a long time, and it takes what it takes for everybody. But and unfortunately, it took something like that for me to open my eyes and wake up. But it did, and I'm still here today, and I'm
good.
And so that's what brought me to the whole health and fitness thing, especially the mental part of it. I think it's just all intertwined, and have to take care of all 3 of those: mind, body, and soul. So that's how I got to where I am.
Very cool. Now your friend that you found, did he also have addictions or struggles?
He did.
Besides the depression?
He did, but his he had more mental health issues than anything. He had severe bipolar disorder and was not taking medication for it. So that mixed with the drugs that he had been taking.
Yeah.
And I wasn't talking to him at this point, so I didn't know how bad it was. But it just kind of goes to show how if you're not taking, and I'm fully, I have a lot of qualms with the pharmaceutical companies, but I also do know that there are medicines out there that do help. I mean, I take something for, my depression, but I think it's really important that you mix that with, a healthy lifestyle, not just relying on the drugs to fix you.
Okay.
And also, if you need them, take them, and don't be ashamed of it, because, if you don't and you're struggling with something, it could lead to,
Did you also kind of piece this together, and I did while you told me the story, that out in Florida, your fear was something would happen and no one would find you.
Right.
And then a big turning point for you was finding your friend.
I never thought about that.
No?
No.
That's exactly what I was thinking of when you were telling that story. I was like, that's interesting.
That gave me goosebumps.
Me too, actually. Right. That was a big fear for you. That was a big where you were telling me earlier. That was a point where you felt like it was peaking,
right.
and now that was the drop off where you're like, okay, things need to change now.
Right. I think seeing the finality of it.
Oh yeah.
Because also thinking about death is not the same thing, I feel like, as actually seeing it or experiencing losing, a loved
Absolutely.
one, or I don't know, it just hit me differently. And as an alcoholic, I kind of thought, I must have like 9 lives, because there were so many times that I should not have, woken up, and
Okay.
I did. And so yeah, that's kind of cool. Not cool is maybe not the right word, but
The correlation, maybe. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And how was the support from family and friends during these whole 7-9 years?
So I think obviously I was loved very much through it all. But I mean, it kills me to think how much I broke their hearts.
Okay.
My grandmother, my mom, my dad, my friends from college who had seen me in a good place and then saw me, at my worst. And then after that whole thing happened in Rhode Island, my friend Taylor drove from Washington, D.C., 7 hours straight to come get me. And
that's
that
nice.
was the first. She's not a crier at all. And that was the first time I'd ever seen her
That's
cry
great.
when she hugged me. So the pain I put them through is just something that I'm going to have to work on through a living amends. I think that by showing that, I'm living a life that I'm proud of, is something that will make them happy. But yeah, they definitely loved me through it. They loved me through it, and they hurt a lot during that whole process. But at the time, I was super selfish and only thought that I was hurting myself. But I was definitely putting a lot of people through a lot of pain.
And they're still with you now then?
They are.
Oh,
they are
so great.
My grandmother especially, she's so proud.
Oh, that's so
cute.
great.
Yeah. So
Must be so proud of everything you're doing too.
Yeah, she really is. She's really excited for my life. She's always been like, "You're so beautiful. You can do anything you want in life."
Oh, that's great.
I mean, this was even at my worst, and she's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I mean, that's a great story, and probably every day for you is a struggle, I assume.
Yeah, it's always going to be a fight. I don't think it ever goes away. But I get stronger. You know? The struggle doesn't cease, but I learn every day a little bit better how to cope with it, and how to deal with things that come my way. And I've been an assistant manager now at a sober living for
very cool,
for a while, and I think that's really helped. It's kind of a way to give back, and also keeps me accountable. So
yeah, that's really great.
Yeah.
So what happens when a friend say, "Hey, let's go meet up. Let's go meet at this bar. Let's go hang out at this bar." Do you go and say, don't offer me drinks, or do you just like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna go. I won't meet you guys"?
Well, it's funny because my friends at my current job, they know my situation, and they are they're super great about it. They'll
Good.
tell me about something that's going on if they're going to like a bar or something.
Okay.
But they're like, but do you think that's a good idea?
Okay.
And so far, I have not felt like I'm ready for that. So
Okay.
I don't go to bars unless it's like a bar restaurant, and then I'll go and I'll usually have someone else there with me who doesn't drink. But I don't go hang out at bars.
I like that awareness.
Yeah.
That's great awareness, though.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe you can never, and that's okay. I hope you've accepted that too.
I have.
Okay.
You know, I have, because I'm happy where I am today.
Good.
And that's something I truly never thought that I would be able to say. So, but yeah, I don't find myself wanting to, you know, I don't miss it. I don't miss it. Yeah.
You know, we used to go out every weekend, go to the bars, go to the clubs, and now I'm more of a family man now. I don't miss it either. It's okay. So you're not missing. You're not even missing out on anything, Brogan.
Thank you.
So I know that with addictive personalities, and here's the thing: everyone's got it.
Yeah.
Some just have higher degrees, some have lower degrees.
Definitely.
Like I've probably got some. Well, I know I've got some addictions, but it's just such a small degree, and it doesn't affect my everyday life. Where yours is a little bit higher, and it does affect your everyday life.
Yeah.
So you need to replace that with something else, right? And for you, it was fitness.
Yes.
And working out. So were you always kind of into fitness or in shape, or how did that start?
Yeah, I've always been into fitness. I've always been a healthy eater. Obviously, you know, alcohol kind of took everything away, or I let it take everything away from me. But so I didn't care, you know, when I was drinking. But whenever I'm sober, I love being outside. I love being active. I love riding horses. I used to run a lot. And now it's just turned into this love for fitness. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So when it's like it's snowing today here, what do you do when you want to be outside and it's snowing today? You just like maybe another time, or like I'm going sledding, or what?
No, when it's snowing, and when I first moved to Utah, I was like, why did I move here? Like the winters I thought were so brutal, but now I'm used to it, and I love the snow. I think it's beautiful, but I still won't work out in it. So what I do is I've actually just joined Team Beachbody as an independent coach.
Oh, wonderful.
And they have what I like to call Netflix for fitness.
It's true.
I know. I love it.
I have the app on my Apple TV, and you can...
I love it. I mean, they have hundreds of workouts on there, and so on days like this, and even when it's not, I'll take my laptop to the gym with me, and I'll go in one of those, you know, empty classrooms.
Oh, okay.
And do the workouts in there, and they're brutal, but they're fun, and I'm already seeing, you know, changes, and not just changes physically, but mentally, and the way that this whole health and fitness coaching thing works is that I get to be, you know, motivation and support and accountability for these other women who are also doing it, and it also keeps me accountable and gets me excited. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What do we gotta do to get Beachbody to give you your own video? That's what we gotta find out.
Right?
I'm a big fan of Beachbody. I actually I did Insanity a couple times.
Yeah, that one's tough.
And I love Sean T. I just showed you a picture of me and Sean T together. Love that guy. Yeah. And so what do we got to do to get you your own video series?
I know. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that would be fun.
That's why we need to get more people to go to you.
I've got to get really good at them first, though.
Yeah, that's why we get more people to follow you and things like that. There we go.
Yes.
How can they follow you?
Okay, so my Instagram is Brogan, BROGAN_Blackwood, BLACKWOOD. Blackwood's my middle name, and I don't know why I just went with that instead.
That's kind of, I like that. That's kind of,
yeah.
That's a middle name, Blackwood?
Yeah, so...
I got to hear this story.
Well, Blackwood is my mom's maiden name.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so they got a little crazy with my name.
It's pretty cool, though. I'm not going to lie. I dig that.
I like having the initials BBB, I will say that.
That is pretty cool. So yeah, you guys follow her, and then we'll get her own series on Beachbody.
Yes,
That's what we need to do.
awesome.
That would be awesome. So now you're able to take those the learnings, the fitness, and you're able to now start helping other people in that way.
Yes, and a big part of my brand, I really want to. The reason it is BB Mind.Body.Soul is that I want to share my story, so that people know where I come from, and I don't think that I'm just like every other person trying to be a health and fitness coach. And that's not to say that other people don't do a great job. I think it is. But I think I'm unique in the way of I know what it's like to be extremely unhealthy, and not just physically, also mentally and emotionally. And to just feel like your soul is not alive or in there anymore. Because I felt empty for so long,
Oh, I'm sure. Like a shell of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. A shell of myself. And to feel whole again, and to be able to share that with people. I've only shared, a little bit of my story, but I've already had responses from people on Instagram saying how much that has helped them already, and that, they struggle with it, but they haven't been able to say anything because, of the stigma attached, and they don't want to be judged. And so it's cool to already get to see that it's, helping at least one person. And so I think that it'll be really cool to see, where it grows. And,
but you know what, Brogan? It's not just that one person that reached out to you. It's probably going to be hundreds and thousands that probably won't have the time or think about responding to you, but that you still will affect. Honestly, and hopefully this is a platform too for people to hear a story where they have their own struggles as well, and that you can defeat it, right? And it's not easy, and it's gonna be difficult, but it can be done.
Yes, it's definitely the hardest thing I've ever done.
I'm sure.
But it is so worth it, getting a second. I don't even want to say second chance at life. It's like my 10th chance, but to be able to really feel alive, and to feel grateful, and to be able to laugh, and have, my goals back, and to feel love, and to give love in a genuine and authentic way, as opposed to this, like I said, I felt like a shell of a human being, and that's so not who I am, to my core. So it's really cool to be back.
That's
Brogan
so good.
2.0.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love that. What's something you say to somebody when they come up to you, and two questions on this part.
Okay.
One, when they come to you and say, hey, I'm struggling too, what should I do? What do you kind of say there? And then same question though when it comes to fitness and health. And they say, hey, I want to get in shape. I want to get back on track. What do I got to do? Right.
If they say they're struggling, with whether it be, depression, or I've had a few people struggling with physical things like MS, and that also leads to their depression and that sort of thing. The biggest thing I can do for them at that point is just listen. A lot of the times when people reach out, it's just because they want to be heard. They want to talk to someone that will listen and understand and not judge them. So before I make any suggestions or advice or anything like that, I will just be there, because
That's great.
People forget that there's such power in just listening and really hearing what they're saying, as opposed to listening and
giving opinions
or advice, or just talking for the sake of talking,
Really good point. Yeah.
And then as far as health and fitness goes, of course I share my journey, and I figure out exactly what they want to accomplish in their fitness goals. With the help of Beachbody, actually, they have their own meal plans and whatnot, but I can also personalize that. I like to share what I'm doing, because I have to believe in something in order to promote it or share it even. So I kind of put my own twist on things, and I'll share what I'm doing. I'll share what works for me. Because I also like to have fun when I'm working out. I don't like for it to be, a task or a chore or something I have to do. I like to make it a fun thing. So I'll kind of put that twist on it so that they don't feel like it's, another thing that they have to do. And then I work with them, I'll tailor it to their needs.
Oh, that's great.
And I mean, there's so many things you can do for fitness too. There's the dancing part, there's hundreds of workouts on Beachbody On Demand. And I mean, anything you want to do, really, you can do. So
what's some of your favorite things to do right now? When it comes to like getting yourself ready to go and work out, and or when you're working out, what are some of your favorite things you like to do?
Well, right now it's really cool being that person to get to motivate people and holding them accountable, and that means doing it myself. So for me right now, it doesn't take a lot to get me excited.
Oh, good.
Don't get me wrong, there are those days where I'm like, I'd rather stay in bed or just chill. But no, I always feel so much better after I do it. And if I don't want to go to the gym and work out, I find something else, like going for a walk even outside. I know it's been snowing and cold and whatnot here, but just switching it up, mainly not doing the same thing, every time you go to work out, because that's also not great for, if you're trying to make progress, you want to switch up the muscle groups and switch up what you're doing and how you're doing it so that you make progress faster. But also just mentally to make it more stimulating and exciting and not so mundane.
Those are good tips. I like all those tips.
Yeah.
Again, how can people reach out to you or contact you?
Okay, so my Instagram is Brogan, BROGAN _Blackwood, BLACKWOOD. And then my email is my first and last name, Brogan Bonner, BONNER 22@gmail.com. And then if you can't, for some reason, get in touch with me that way, which you should be able to, but I'll just give you my phone number as well. It's 615-719-1098.
And no creepers.
Yeah, no creepers, please.
No creepers.
I don't want to have to think about myself.
Awesome. Any closing things you want to say out there while people are listening and enjoying the show?
Well, be kind. This is my first interview process, so
This was great. This was really good.
Thank you. I try to be as vulnerable and open as possible because I think that that's super important. And if I'm trying to,
I agree.
If I'm saying that that's what you need to do in order to heal, then I have to also do that myself. So
the first thing you said, I'm sorry to cut you off. The first thing you said when we started talking before we recorded was that you wanted to share your story of your addiction, and it's hard for you, but it's part of your story, part of your journey, and I 100% agree with that.
Thank you.
To live your truth.
Yeah.
And constantly maybe repeating and telling the story obviously makes you want to fix it.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
And so it was really great. So
thank you. Yeah, no. It's been a journey for sure. But there's always a way out, and I just want people, from my story, I want people to get that part, that there's, no matter how low you feel, there's always a way out, and it's not easy and it's not fun, but it's worth it. And if I can help anyone, please reach out to me. I'm always here to listen. And especially young women struggling with, whether it be eating disorder, alcoholism, depression, anxiety, anything at all. I'm more than happy to help in any way I can. And then as far as the fitness and health goes, of course, I'm super excited about that. So if anyone wants to go on that journey with me, I would love to have you.
That's awesome, bro. I really appreciate you're sharing your story, to be honest. It's interesting to me, that someone like me and you can go somewhere and we could have a few drinks, I can go home, but you wouldn't be able to stop.
Yeah.
But now you're at that awareness level and you're like, okay, now I know what I need to do, and it's just, you gotta keep fighting every day, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
For where you are today and where you're going.
Thank you.
I see big things for you, and I'm excited.
Thank you. Yeah,
So-
the mindfulness part is huge. I think being aware
Yeah.
is just, I mean, it's a huge part of it, self-awareness and acknowledging it. And like I said, being able to talk about it has been probably what has saved me. So
That's great. Well, I'm proud of you, and
Thank you.
keep fighting, keep going.
Thank you.
And big things are coming.
Thank you
I can
so
tell.
much.
That's great. Hey, you guys, again, thank you again for listening or watching another episode of the DVO Show. We have some great things coming up. I hope you really enjoyed this story, and if you know someone that can really benefit from Brogan's story or what she offers, please reach out. She mentioned in here, okay? Please reach out to her and share the episode with someone that can really use that. All right. Hey, thanks again for watching and listening. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.